Welcome to This Explainer. You know, if you run a dental clinic, you know exactly what a Monday morning sounds like. Phones ringing off the hook, a waiting room packed with people. It's a totally chaotic symphony. You already know patient acquisition is fiercely competitive right now. But we're going to dive into some hard data today that shows your biggest threat to growth, it actually isn't a lack of marketing. No, it's a massive, hidden gap right in your operational foundation. So today, we're acting as your operational guide. We're going to build a convincing, data-backed playbook on how to fix this for good by bringing in a 24/7 AI front desk solution.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The hidden revenue leak. 2. Anatomy of a missed call. 3. Why old solutions fail. 4. The 24/7 AI solution. And finally, 5. Your implementation guide. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The hidden revenue leak, the silent drain on your practice.
300. Yep, that is the average number of incoming calls missed by a dental practice every single month. I mean, just picture that for a second. Nearly 1 in 3 patients trying to reach your office just hits a frustrating voicemail or an endless ringing tone. The data tells us that your front desk staff is often running at maybe 60% of the coverage they actually need during peak volume times. When that 11 a.m. rush hits, a hygienist needs a question answered. A patient is trying to check out. The phone starts ringing. Something has to give. And honestly, it's almost always the phone.
And when you add all those missed calls up, it translates to a mind-blowing $150,000 in potential annual revenue just lost, gone. Practice owners will, agonize over optimizing a $5,000 monthly marketing budget, yet completely overlook the absolute fortune slipping right through their fingers. We kind of tend to write off missed calls as a minor administrative hiccup, just the cost of doing business, right? But when you look at the raw financials across multiple clinics, guys, this is an enterprise-level crisis. It's literally a massive, 6-figure blind spot in your operations.
Section 2, Anatomy of a Missed Call. Breaking down the true cost.
You really have to think of a single missed call like an iceberg. So the immediate revenue loss of a missed new patient call averages out to about $850. That represents the first-year value, the initial exam, the x-rays, maybe a standard cleaning. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. The massive hidden chunk underwater is the $8,000 lifetime value of that patient. We're talking routine care for the next decade, root canals, cosmetic procedures, their entire family's referrals. And all of that future revenue, you just handed it straight to the local competitor down the street simply because they picked up the phone when you didn't. But look, the core issue here isn't a failure of your staff. It's a structural, human bottleneck. Your front desk team faces an impossible choice every single day. Do they provide this great, empathetic experience for the anxious patient standing right in front of them? Or do they rudely interrupt that to grab a ringing phone? Research actually shows that this kind of constant, high-stakes, task switching drops cognitive performance by 40%. Humans just aren't wired to process simultaneous data streams without dropping the ball, and it creates immense unnecessary daily stress for your team.
And compounding that bottleneck is a seriously dangerous scheduling reality. While 65% of calls happen during the day, a massive 35% of all patient calls occur outside standard business hours. Think about the working parent finally getting a moment to call on their lunch break, or the evening researcher looking for a new provider after the kids are in bed, or, the frantic patient with a 2 a.m. Saturday toothache. By default, every single one of those callers hits a voicemail. You are essentially unstaffed, completely closed for business for a full third of your potential patient interactions.
Section 3, Why Old Solutions Fail. The Voicemail Trap. Now you might be thinking, well, hey, I have voicemail for a reason. But let's look at the actual data on these legacy options. First up, voicemail. 85% of modern callers absolutely refuse to leave a message. They just hang up, go back to Google, and call the next dentist. Boom, lost. What about forwarding calls to the dentist's cell phone? Well, that totally destroys your work-life balance, and it still only yields a 30 to 40% answer rate. Because, you can't pick up while you're sleeping or out to dinner. Third, human call centers. They cost thousands a month, but they just read from generic scripts and can't even access your software to actually book the appointment. And finally, hiring a dedicated night or weekend receptionist is simply cost prohibitive. We're talking starting at around $45,000 a year with crazy high turnover. It's a lose-lose-lose scenario. Section 4, the 24/7 AI solution, automating the front desk.
So, the solution here isn't about working your team harder or throwing good money at bad, outdated fixes. It's a systematic upgrade. When we compare capabilities side by side, AI fundamentally changes the rules of clinic operations. Unlike a human who can only handle one call at a time for 40 hours a week, AI gives your practice unlimited simultaneous call capacity, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It gives instant answers with 0 rings, completely eliminating hold times, and crucially, it can write appointments directly into your scheduling software like Dentrix or EagleSoft in real time.
And this immediate action, it translates directly into revenue, because the AI doesn't just passively take a message. It actually conducts smart emergency triage, it answers specific insurance questions, and it secures the schedule right then and there. Because of that, it achieves a staggering 72% booking conversion rate for after-hours calls. Compare that to the totally dismal 12% conversion rate you get when a human tries to call a voicemail back the next morning. Let's be real, by the time your staff calls him back at 9 a.m., that patient has already found another provider who actually answered the phone. The AI secures the booking right in the exact moment of need.
Section 5. Your Implementation Guide. A simple 3-step process.
First, let's look at the math for a standard, moderate-volume clinic to see exactly why this is such a no-brainer. A typical monthly investment in an AI receptionist sits somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000. But because you are actively capturing high-value patients who used to just abandon your clinic, this yields a massive $75,000 net positive cash flow annually. And the absolute best part of this equation, that return happens with 0 added headcount. No payroll taxes, no sick days. You aren't just buying another piece of software here. You are basically installing a specialized 24/7 revenue capture engine into your business.
And the deployment procedure? It's remarkably simple, with absolutely 0 downtime for your clinic. Step 1 is system integration. The AI securely and compliantly connects right to your existing VoIP phone lines and your practice management software. Step 2 is custom training. The AI doesn't just read some generic script. It literally learns your clinic's DNA, your protocols, the exact insurances you take, and your specific provider scheduling rules. And step 3 is go live. You just flip the switch and instantly eliminate missed calls from your daily worries.
Unlike massive operational overhauls that take months of painful staff retraining, this entirely custom, seamless implementation takes days, not months, to set up. With a standard one-time setup fee of around $1,500, you are instantly plugging a $150,000 annual leak. But honestly, more importantly, it profoundly changes the vibe of your waiting room. It frees up your human staff to do what no AI can ever do: provide focused, empathetic, face-to-face care to the actual patients sitting right in front of them.
Look, the technology is proven in the market, the operational benchmarks are crystal clear, and the financial math is just undeniable. Your patients are calling right now, and they're expecting a modern, accessible, on-demand healthcare experience no matter what time it is. So I'll leave you with this thought to consider for your own practice. When an automated system can seamlessly recapture tens of thousands of dollars that are currently walking straight out your door to a competitor, what are you waiting for to reclaim your lost revenue?